Well, hello there. My name is Mark Miles, and I love helping trainers, presenters, facilitators really take their results in the training room to the next level. And in today's video, I want to talk about the topic of advanced questioning. Advanced questioning. Because what we need to realize is that your job, your role as a trainer or facilitator is essentially to lead the hearts and minds of your audience to the new place of understanding or skills development, whatever that may be in regards to the context that you're working in. Now, ultimately, as a facilitator, one of the challenges that you face is that you're going to have people with different opinions. You're going to have people with different levels of experience or different experiences up till that point that they come into your training room. And one of the things that you need to be very aware of is what's called fractionation or different pockets of opinion. And what we need to be very good at is being able to, as I said, lead the hearts and minds of your audience and keep everybody on the same page. Now, the amateur would walk into a training room and maybe make a statement that may get the audience offside. And as we all know, once you get an audience offside, it is very difficult to get them back on side. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about essentially some questions that you can use strategically throughout your delivery in order to keep everybody on the same page. Now, the opposite of that is what's called fractionation. And so, if you have different pockets of or groups of people in your audience that think differently to you or think differently to other people, then you're really going to find it a challenge to get everybody moving on the same page, so to speak. So, for example, if you walked into a training room, and just take this with a grain of salt as I use this example, if you walked into a training room and you said that Apple computers are the best computers on the planet, now you may have some people in that room that agree with you, or you may have some people that disagree with you. All right. Now, if you walked into the training room and said Apple computers are the best, yeah, maybe an issue. But if you walked into the training room and you said, would you agree that there are some people that truly believe that Apple computers are the best computers in the world? Who would agree with that statement by a show of hands? Awesome. Now, by that statement and by that question, you have gathered up essentially the first step of rapport, which is agreement. Okay. In order for rapport to develop, there must be agreement. Now, if you walked in and you said a statement that people disagreed with, then you're really going to struggle to create momentum and get everybody on the same page, so to speak. So, in the question styles and structures I'm going to go through right now, what you're able to do is use them to create agreement. Okay. If you walked in and said, for example, Donald Trump was the best president America ever had, people may not agree with that. But if you said, some people would you agree that some people thought that Donald Trump was one of the most controversial presidents America ever had? Most people would agree with that statement. Okay, so it's your ability to create agreement that makes all the difference. So let's go through some of the structures, or sorry, questioning structures that you can use, and let me give you some examples. So get ready to write, grab a pen, and write down number one for me. So number one is, would you agree that? So as I've already said, would you agree that many people are starting to consider electric vehicles? Or would you agree that climate change is a hot topic right now? Hot topic, haha. All right, so would you agree that? All right, so that's the first one. Would you agree that? Now you can take that to the advanced level and say, would you agree that some people think X and some people think Y? Would you agree with that statement? Okay, so you can present both sides of the coin, so to speak, or the argument. Next one, number two, would it be true that? So, for example, would it be true that the the teachers that we have in primary school can really have an influence on how we develop as people over time? Would that be true? Okay. Would it be true that the political and economic landscape right now is creating uncertainty for people. Would it be true that that's the case? Okay, so I'm just picking random examples here. So the second one is, would it be true that? Number three, would it be a problem if? So, for example, would it be a problem if you were a brand new leader and you were struggling to get your team moving in the same direction? Would that be a problem? Okay. So, third one is, would it be a problem if? Okay. Next one, number four. Would it be the case that? So, for example, would it be the case that many people go to training sessions and they feel good in the moment, but walk away and don't often use what they've learned? Okay. Would that be the case? Okay. Next one, number five. If then raise your hand. So if you would love to have a lot more money in your life, then raise your hand. Or if you have ever had conflict in the workplace, then raise your hand. Okay. So again, just a leading question to gather everybody on the same page. If you are a little bit worried about making mortgage payments right now, then raise your hand. Okay. Just a simple structure that you can use as you introduce a topic, or as you are coming into a topic or part of a topic that may be a little bit controversial. Okay. Next one. Number six. Who here has ever had the situation of XYZ? So who here has ever had the situation of let's go feeling a little bit anxious about having a conversation with a colleague at work? Who here has ever had that situation, by a show of hands? Okay. Now, you don't always have to say by a show of hands and actually get people to admit to it, but you're simply throwing the phrase out there. Next one, number seven. Have you ever? Okay, pretty generic, and you can use it pretty much in all situations. Have you ever been worried, concerned, or frustrated about XYZ? Or have you ever been to Paris? All right. It's great, simple question that can elicit a problem and bring a problem to life. Have you ever been driving at night and the lights just haven't been as bright as you would love them to be? Okay, just throwing that in. Number eight, and the final one for this video is, this is a unique one, but this is a really powerful one because it introduces a concept without you putting it smack in their face. All right. And it's going to allow you to get through the conscious barriers that somebody may have. And this is a self-reflective question style. And what you can do, number eight, is, one day I was doing X and I asked myself a profound question. And maybe you've asked yourself the same question as well. So, for example, one day I was preparing for a meeting at work and I asked myself a profound question. I asked myself, ultimately, why was I having this meeting? Why was I even preparing this? And I started to really think about what is the purpose of gathering together with these people? I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you've been going to a meeting and you've been wondering, why are we even doing this? Right. And that's just an example, right? Just an example. But the art or the strategy of posing a question to the group by actually posing it to yourself is a really, really powerful one. So that one is, one day I was doing X and I asked myself this. All right. So a great strategy to use. So just to recap the question styles and structures that we've gone through, number one is, would you agree that? Okay. Number two, would it be true that? Number three, would it be a problem if ... Next, would it be the case that? Next, if ... then raise your hand. Okay. Next, who here has ever had the situation of? Next, have you ever? Voila. And last of all, one day I was doing this and I asked myself this. All right. So those are just some examples of some really powerful structures you can use to keep everybody on the same page and get people moving in the same direction. And the number one enemy for any trainer facilitator is that concept of fractionation, or pockets of groups of opinions. Ultimately, as I said, your job as a trainer or facilitator is to lead the hearts and minds of your audience to that new place or that new, I guess, outcome that you're looking to help them achieve. On that note, thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do all that. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.